Here, a lot needs to be said. And they're all getting it at this point, you know. When I was a child, I had this shirt. It was an old rift of the rift off the Mean People's T-shirt. It had an alien on it, and it said "Mean Earth would suck." It's difficult to cope emotionally when you wake up one day and realize your instinct from nearly 28 years ago with a shirt like that was right. I was like what 7 or 8 years old. I was right even back then. I can't stand it. Why are people like this? I mean, honestly, why do they have to be so mean? Honestly, wolves are a social species too, but they're kinder people than we are. Because wolves don't engage in unnecessary cruelty. See, they're violent sometimes, but only when they need to be. We're cruel needlessly, all the time, frequently, you know? And it's been said unnecessary cruelty is a hallmark of weak command, but honestly, that's all I see, and it's all I get on this platform. None of the people who have ever left me a mean comment needed to at all. They had the full power of discretion not to just, if they couldn't say anything nice, to just fuck off and leave, to not leave a comment at all. But they chose to leave one that was nasty anyways. So there's no excuse for it. That's valid. There's no justification for it. They're all invalid justifications by somebody that is trying desperately to justify and rationalize their actions, and engage in mental gymnastics for what they've done. Watch the wheels spin. You didn't need to. Whatever your reason is, it's wrong and it's not a valid one. It takes almost no effort at all to avoid being an asshole when you don't need to be, and yet they won't even put in that much work. I don't know why people act so stupid and cruel. They should know that even my 7-year-old self was always right, just like I am now. Sebastian, the origin of that particular phrase, by the way, Sebastian Marshall, who, I wanted to, do a shout out to this person for this video. He has the right of it, except I'm sure not. I'm sure not a lot of people would not. I'm not sure a lot of people would agree. These people are being mean to others without any need to be. But I mean, look at Steven Crowder's abuse of the gay guy from Vox. He didn't need to go after him. He just did it because he could. The attacks that he makes on Carlos Maza all the time. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to say anything about Carlos Maza at all. Yet he keeps commenting and bullying him. None of this was necessary. None. At least a wolf doesn't invent reasons to be cruel for no reason, simply because he delights and enjoys hurting people. None of these people have a valid excuse either. They had discretion and were fully capable of not being a dick, and simply chose to be one, in spite of their powers of discretion not to. They chose to be abusive fucknuts. And I don't really have a lot of mercy for this at this point, And so continuing, on in this, you're probably thinking, well, isn't this a hypocritical thing? The chud opinions of the internet. Like I have to consider what their arguments are, considering what their arguments have been historically. Don't need to say anything about myself. Just let other people speak for me, about what I am. I don't know if you could actually see all that, in context, but I got a happy birthday gift a day late from a dear friend, and poison cupcake. If I had more than 200 coins, I'd give you a special gift, but this will have to do. You're a sweetheart, and I appreciate having you around as my friend. That was tossed around between the two of us. Don't need to say anything about myself, but I'll just say this: I try to be what they say. I am. I really do. Ryan's rule is dumb, by the way. But this time I'm not going to let a stupid concept thought up by a neurotypical too arrogant to realize he should take his idea with a grain of salt win. And hey, if you want to play the hypocrisy card, At least I punch up. He's punching down, and only scumbags punch down. Purge the scum, it's filth. And yes, if you punch down, you are necessarily a scumbag. That applies universally in every single context a person does it under. The context doesn't matter. There's never a context in which it's morally acceptable to punch down. Punching down is a scummy thing to do, regardless of the context.